All right, Bitcoin appears to be responding to Federal Reserve FOMC aggressive 50 basis point cut. So as of right now, Bitcoin is $63,000, and which of course is volatile, so it's going to go up and down. But it's different than yesterday because it was hovering around 59 to 60. And so what is going on now? It has a lot to do with BlackRock and Larry Fink coming out basically saying he was wrong and institutional interest has never been greater, never been higher. And so definitely he's a part of this pump. But then again, we haven't seen nothing yet. Let's talk about that one. All right, so want to take a quick minute, share my thoughts. A lot of activity, a lot of things happening, and it's better to just keep an eye on the long-term perspective. And so I talk about some of the short-term things because that is the build-up to where we're going to end up heading. And so Bitcoin itself being positioned as a institutional savior from monetary malfeasance from governments is definitely something to pay attention to, especially just as a speculative hedge. I personally think that there's a lot more at play here. But then again, my mother didn't raise me on fools. And so I'm definitely going to play along with this game as long as I can, realizing that everything has an expiration date on it, especially in this technical world that we live in now. But that's here or there. But the point is, Bitcoin is on a move, and based upon the fact that the Federal Reserve is going to begin quantitative easing officially after some type of emergency measure that happens to break within the system, you better believe gold, silver, Bitcoin, and all that will respond in a very favorable way for those who have it. So that's something to consider. As the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock is now singing Bitcoin's praises. So for a firm that controls over 10 trillion in assets, this shift is huge. Not too long ago, BlackRock's CEO Larry Fink wasn't exactly friendly towards Bitcoin, labeling it as volatile and speculative. Now he's flipped the script completely, so far as to admit that he was wrong about dismissing it. And it's not just a change of heart. BlackRock's actions speak louder than words. They've launched a Bitcoin ETF, which we all know about, IBIT, and it's racking in assets, already amassing 21 billion. And it's one of the most successful ETF launches ever. So for a company of BlackRock's stature to back Bitcoin is the ultimate financial endorsement. And that's why we're getting this pump. But what's really going on here, what is this all about, is that Bitcoin has even the giants of finance reconsidering their position. So BlackRock's latest report offers some interesting insights. They argue that Bitcoin, despite its volatility, is unique because it's fundamentally detached from other asset classes in the long run. So now when an asset manager of BlackRock's caliber starts talking about Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier, you have to wonder, is this just another step in Bitcoin's evolution from a fringe asset to a financial mainstream product? We'll see. But I want to break this down. So the report points out that Bitcoin operates independently of traditional markets, but it doesn't rely on any single government, financial institution, or central authority. And unlike typical risk assets, which react to geopolitical instability or shifts in monetary policy, Bitcoin's value is tied to something entirely different: concerns about the long-term stability of global financial systems. So when the dollar weakens or central banks flood markets with liquidity, Bitcoin becomes more of an attractive asset. So in other words, the factors that could tank your 401k might actually send Bitcoin higher. So this brings us to an interesting observation. While Bitcoin is still volatile and speculative, it may serve a different purpose for investors. So as the report suggests, its appeals lies in being a hedge against the very system that traditional assets depend upon. So it's a bet on financial decentralization and a shield against the risk of political instability, inflation, or just outright government overreach. That's quite a claim, but while BlackRock now backing the narrative, it's hard not to take it seriously. What's even more fascinating is how the move reflects a larger trend. Traditional finance is, increasingly cozying up to Bitcoin. A few years ago, this would have never been the case. Now, with BlackRock leading the charge, the narrative has changed substantially. So Bitcoin isn't just for tech-savvy libertarians or speculative traders anymore. It's entering the portfolios of mainstream investors. So the fact that BlackRock has been steadily publishing research explaining how Bitcoin's potential role shows that this isn't just a short-term hype cycle. They're in it for the long haul as of now. Of course, this doesn't mean that everyone should go out and just buy Bitcoin. It's volatile, it still has risk, and as an asset class, it's relatively new. But the point here is that financial powers that be once skeptical, now cautiously optimistic, are increasingly willing to embrace Bitcoin. So this shift signals that Bitcoin's role in global finance might be more significant than its critics originally believed. And so once again, this is just sharing with you what's happening in the mainstream news, because the powers that be, the governing forces of the world, will somehow, some way find a way to leverage and use Bitcoin to their advantage. And so if you know that they're going to use Bitcoin and other crypto-like projects as a backdoor or escape hatch for the liquidity that's about to flood the world, but just my opinion, that if you get ahead of the movement, you could be a recipient of the price appreciation of these instruments. And so once again, Bitcoin, BTC, as it's referred to, is the numero uno, because it's the Genesis block to this entire space, but it's not the only one. And so I'm of the mindset that the Bitcoin brand, meaning Bitcoin associated projects, i.e. forks, individuals that decided to go in a different direction from the Genesis block, which is Satoshi Nakamoto's vision, which we all know, I know, having been in it for quite some time now, that it was hijacked 2016, 2017. So the Bitcoin that Larry Fink loves today is not the Bitcoin that was before this adoption period. So something changed. And my suspicion is that Wall Street has taken a nice liking to it, because it was initially intended for them to be the drivers of this adoption push. So they finance Blockstream. Who else? Jeffrey Epstein. We have a lot of legacy players that are no longer in the picture, because the Michael Saylors of the world, the Jack Mallers, and all the maximalists have taken over and driving the narrative organically, or so it seems. So my point is, in my personal opinion, anything labeled as Bitcoin, when BTC takes off, will also reap the rewards of just being associated with. Just like last 3 years, anything with the label AI on it, anything with AI on it, price appreciation was massive. And so you had publicly traded companies attaching the word AI to their company in somehow, some way, and they saw price appreciation. So the same thing is going to happen in Bitcoin, because the average person won't be able to afford an entire whole coin, meaning one full BTC, which as of right now is 63,000. And so what will they do? Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, and Bitcoin SV, the alternatives to Bitcoin, the original one, has the same properties, but yet some have been improved upon, will also be there. So there's technically 4 Bitcoin structured entities, which I call the Bitcoin brand, that people should consider, because BTC might go to 1 million at some point, but Bitcoin Cash, its little brother, does the same thing but better, can easily go to 10,000. And so right now at about $300 for Bitcoin Cash, $10,000 wouldn't be a bad little price appreciation. Then you got Bitcoin SV, has a lot of the unique properties because it is a project that has utilized a lot of patents to use for the industry in general. So the company behind Bitcoin SV, they have a lot of claims on this entire sector. So Bitcoin SV will probably be used in some form of fashion to interact with those patents. And then Bitcoin Gold is just a way that the small person can mine on their computer. They've made it so that the person from their home can mine it on their PC. And that's unique because it's still 21 million. All 4 of them are 21 million. That is what we're up against. Fiat currency is unlimited, but Bitcoin, the brand, each project is 21 million. And so they will be recipients of all this cash that's created. And that's just Bitcoin. So anyway, want to share with you what's happening in the mainstream news. BlackRock has pretty much given the approval for institutions to come in. And so this report here, I'll put the link in the description so you can read it for yourself, will give you more insight as to what is coming. But it just won't be to BTC. All the other Bitcoin brands will also be recipients in the future, in my opinion. But curious to hear what you guys think. I just wanted to share this, get it out here so you guys can have something to chew on. And so the goal is to keep you one step ahead so that you can hopefully make better decisions in reference to how you position yourself in this reset that we're in. So once again, drop a comment, leave your thoughts. If you found value, hit this thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so more people can find out what's going on here. I'm covering a variety of sectors with these videos here. That's my objective anyway. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware of the things I keep an eye on. So once again, if you're interested in participating, links in the description. I have the silver team, which is where you can join me in automating your silver and helping others do the same and earning rewards from that, whether it be cash or silver. So check that out in the description. And also, if you guys want to get involved in the crypto space, it's new to you, There's a link in the description as well for crypto.com where you can actually sign up and then acquire some of these Bitcoins I'm referring to, in particular Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. And so having a position won't hurt as long as you are understanding the risk associated. But anyway, just sharing some thoughts. Cheers to your thoughts. Drop a comment. Catch you later. Peace.